Hello, it is actually a motherfucking Sunday.
Fuck off, asshole! Leave me alone! Don't you know it's fucking Sunday?
It's that time again, boys and girls. It is that time again. And so what we are gonna do today is catch our breath, and then we're gonna continue digging into the Reaktor Factory Library. And we're going to open up a synthesizer called the Equinoxe Deluxe. I completely winged that. I did not know. I was going to say Equinoxe. I didn't know what the hell that was. And I just saw the X on the end and I was like, oh, Equinoxe. That's what that word is. Gotcha. So we're gonna look at this synth today, and we're gonna go over another key concept, another key white belt concept for all the peoples, for all the feels out there. And you may know this already, you may not. It's gonna be useful either way. What I want to show you is, again, the best practice concept of saving presets. And when you save presets, you want to try to use a save as a best practice, kind of part of that process. So I'm going to find a preset that I like, and then I'm going to change it. I'm going to make some changes to the sound, and then I'm going to save it as something else. So we'll do that. So this is a very kind of basic synthesizer. Very nice. I like the way that swirls. It's pretty gnarly. So that's the Equicolor pad. There's not very many, presets on this. So there's a lot of room for growth, And you could definitely take this to new places. But what I wanted to mess with, there's a particular, and though that's really cool, there's a particular preset that I'm looking for. Oh, that's not bad. Not bad. I think it was... Oh, that's good too. Oof, that's really good. So let's choose between the last two. I think we have a winner. I think this is the one. I keep coming back to this one. There's a reason why. Let's go with it. So, what I wanted to fuck with is paying homage to a musician that means a great deal to myself and my family and, a lot of my friends. That's David Bowie. So we're going to take a stab at playing a little bit of David Bowie here in a little bit using this. And we'll see how it goes. But before that, let's get to the white belt business. The lesson for today is we want to learn how to save presets. Basically, what we want to do is I'm going to open up the Finder, the side pane, show side pane, please. And the side pane has a number of controls. Now, the browser is what I normally have up, which is that allows me here to, of course, go ahead and, completely browse the set of instruments and different things that I have in my, my libraries. So either the library provided by Reaktor, the factory library, or my own library, which I'll get to. What we want to open is, we don't want to open the browser. What we want to open is the preset browser, which is actually, you want to, in my view, you want to kind of get to the ensemble level and save presets there and get in the habit of doing that, because what you could have is a situation where you have a synthesizer and a number of effects, or a beast of an instrument or ensemble that's a number of instruments. So if you save presets, you don't want to save them to a particular instrument within that greater ensemble. You want to save the preset on the ensemble, generally speaking. That may not be the case, but typically you want to target the entire instrument, which is the ensemble. So best practice number one, change it to ensemble. There will be a list of instruments listed here. Of course, there's just the one for today, but I get in the habit of changing that to ensemble just so that you save your presets at the ensemble level. Now, what we want to do next is fuck all these other options. We don't need these other options. So for today, we're just learning about the preset browser. And there's a little camera icon because this is Snapshot. Now, you can have multiple banks. You can create a new bank. Right now, I've got one bank of presets. Okay. And again, I can create new banks. I can rename this bank. I don't like the name of that bank. I can rename it. I'm going to keep this, but I'm going to make some changes to the sound. Just a little. That's nice. I think it's gonna do it. Very cool little instrument, by the way. Very cool little ensemble. It looks just like I haven't fucked with it too much, but it looks just like some strings. You can change a few things about the sound, but not much. There's not really an oscillator section, even though there's obviously oscillation. There's obviously some synth stuff happening here, but this is kind of like a pad or strings module. I like to think of this, you know what I mean? That's kind of what this sounds like to me. That's what this feels like. So ensemble rate, again, haven't fucked with this too much. Looks like, okay, speed. There's LFOs. You can mix the LFO, mix between the dry signal. That's why you always have this thing on, right? Always explain that shit to yourself. Vintage phaser effect, got it. And the channel delay, very cool. cool stuff. And instead of free running oscillators, a bank of 12 oscillators and a phase-locked octave generator can be selected, which gives a similar sound to vintage string ensembles. Yep, so there's a number of oscillators running. It says instead you can choose a bank of 12 oscillators and a phase-locked octave generator. Let's try it. And then what we want to do here is I want to have the option of going back to this original preset. So I don't want to fuck with overwriting this preset. I want to actually add a preset, right? So let me show you what to do in both cases, because sometimes you might want to make changes to a preset you've already saved, in which case overwriting the selected snapshot would be the way to go. But I don't want to do that. I'm not trying to overwrite number 11. In this case, I'm trying to add a snapshot, store a new snapshot into the next free slot. So the easiest thing to do is don't fuck with anything in the list. I've already got this, because if you select anything here, you're going to fuck with all your changes you just made. I like what I've kind of done. I want to keep it. So I'm going to add that as a new preset. That's all you got to do. Add. Okay, immediately shoots into number 12, gives it the same name. I don't know what the name of that song is, but I'm gonna say Bowie Low 1, in case I want to do more. You never know. And call it a day. So now we can go back to this first one. That's the first one. And there's mine. Badass. I've also noticed this little red guy has turned red. Why? Unsaved changes will get lost on closing the session. I don't want that shit. I want to save this, right? That's generally what you want to do. Generally speaking, when you're saving changes to an ensemble, you're now making this instrument your own. So now this is no longer, I mean, it is part of the factory library, but hear me out. Once you start putting your own presets into it, it's no longer only part of the factory library. Now it's something else, right? Now it's partly your own in a way. So what you want to do is you want to save that as a new ensemble into your own factory library, right? So you want to, first off, you want to know your own shit. You want to know where your factory library is. And you want to make sure that, you have a frame of reference for how you're organizing everything. And so let's look at how mine is set up. So I'm going to get out of the preset browser and go back to the browser. And so here's a factory library, and here's my user. And it's just a list of ensembles. And there's just all sorts of, there may be enough in here of different category to warrant a subcategorization, but for right now, it's just ensembles. So this, for me, is the simplest, and then it's all just in there by alphabetically. So I'm gonna save this guy as a new ensemble, and that's what you want to do. You want to save it as a new ensemble, and you want to save it in your library. So know where that is. That's obviously not here. So I'm going to go look for my library. And I know for a fact that's in my documents. Native Instruments, Reaktor 6, library. And it's right here. This is my stuff. So I'm going to save Equinoxe Deluxe. I'm going to go ahead and save it. And now that red mark goes away. It's white. Ensemble will get saved automatically when a host session is closed. That's comforting, but I can also, at any point in time, now that I've saved it to that location, I can just come up here and go, and that's a nice little shortcut to just save it. So anytime that turns red, that means you've made some changes to a preset, something that's a core change to the instrument. You know what I mean? Like this. Turns red again. But you see how it kind of turns white when I hover my cursor over it? Now that it's in my location, I save it. And it's saved. Anytime. But you can, of course, also just go up here to File and Save Ensemble. And that's the normal menu, right? That's what you're always used to. So save as, put it in your shit, and then save it early and often. That's what you want to do. Because that's what you want to do. And what I'm going to do now is fuck around on this thing and see what trouble we can get into. Gotta fuck with that transition. So let's learn that transition. That's what you do. You do it, guys. You fuck around with shit. You fail. Like, all right, what am I fucking up? I'm fucking up that transition. So learn that transition real quick. Stop fucking up that transition. Fuck it up. Learn. Get better. That's what you do. mean, god dang. It is just one of the most beautiful pieces of music ever. And when you can get it right, not fuck it up. It's gorgeous, man. It sounds fucking gorgeous. On a Sunday. Until next time.